Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, what is Eli even talking about? 5 worst things about living in Albuquerque. Isn't he supposed to be talking about positive? Well, in this video, I'm gonna get into that. So let's go. Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Eli, and if this is your first time tuning in to the Living in Albuquerque channel, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom, somewhere along here, right? That way you guys are never missing out on any kind of videos, because I am dropping videos every week talking about what our beautiful city of Albuquerque has to offer. Now, aside from doing these videos, I am also a local real estate agent here in Albuquerque, and I manage the surrounding areas. So that number popping up on the screen here is my direct line. And whether you're looking to move within the next 30 days, 60 days, 120 days, whatever it is, you wanted to move yesterday, feel free to reach out. That way we can set up a quick Zoom call and talk about what the next step is and what the plan is to get you down here quicker. My absolute favorite thing that I absolutely hate here is gonna be the weather. With the weather that we get down here, we get sunny days like we are seeing today. It was raining sporadically, and it tends to rain a lot more off and on during the summer, which is great because sometimes it helps with the high heat, especially with this heat wave that we're going to be experiencing. I think the highest we're going to see is about 100 degrees. So anybody looking to move here, it's not going to be like Arizona, and it's not going to be cool like Denver. It's going to be just, something that during the middle of the day, you're going to want to get inside. And then once the sun starts to set, that temperature drops drastically. So keep that in mind, that this good weather is going to have you outside a lot more. So that's something you're looking for. This is something you're going to want to consider. The culture here is just the epitome of what we call the land of mañana, which means the land of tomorrow, right? Our culture is super chill and laid back. Majority of the time, there's nothing really much of an emergency or a rush or anything like that. Most people here are super chill and laid back. You're actually going to see a lot of people that when they are not, doing anything and they're at home, you'll catch them sitting outside in their front yard, garage all open, hanging out with the neighborhood, conversing with the neighbors. So the community engagement is huge because of that. If you're looking to be involved more in the community, Albuquerque is probably going to be one of those places that you want to look into, because people are super friendly here. You'll run into the cases where some people are not nice, and of course that's anywhere. So before you say, hey Eli, that isn't totally true. Well, more cases than not, if you're walking down the street, most people will say hi to you. Not like in New York when I used to live down there and I used to say hi to people. I couldn't even look at people without getting a dirty, nasty look. But here in Albuquerque, I was super happy when I came back that I can walk down the street, say hi to a neighbor. The neighbor's walking their dogs. They're gonna look and they're gonna, want to stop by and have a quick conversation and, tell me about their life, or tell me, hey, this neighborhood is great, or hey, I've seen you've been working out. Like, what can I do? Those types of conversations. They really want to get involved. So if you're coming down here, don't feel like you're not going to be able to make friends right away, because you are. Our affordability is realistic here. I'm just going to be honest with you. Compared to other major cities, you're not going to be spending, all this money to live a bougie lifestyle because of the chill, laid back culture. Now, when we're talking about numbers, because we have to, Zillow puts Albuquerque around $320 for the average home price, in comparison to where people say, man, that's super expensive. Look, if you're looking at a city like Denver, the median home price there is around $550. So in retrospect, we are super affordable. When you're going out there to spend money on groceries, on average for a family of 4, you're probably going to spend about $150 a week. That's, full course meals for, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks, and all that stuff. Now, if you go beyond that because you wanted to buy the Little Debbie's, or you wanted to get an extra snack, or you like me, you have to buy the protein, which is a little bit more expensive, and my wife gets on my case all the time. So I'm always looking for alternatives to be able to save money, and they have that. They always have different alternatives, and people are really creative here. People are super DIY. So when it comes in terms of saving, if you make friends with the right people, they'll tell you, hey, you don't need to go and spend all that money. I know how to do that. Just buy the material. Again, if you're talking about housing and you want to remodel, or you're looking to fix something, people are going to go out their way to make sure that they help you, because they understand that, hey, sometimes stuff gets expensive. I've been there, and I want to make sure that I can help you out. Kind of like a karma bank. A lot of people believe in that kind of stuff. I think it's because of our culture. I don't know if it's like the superstition kind of stuff that really is embedded in New Mexican culture, but it really helps us out to become more of the community, DIY, save money, and not be frivolous with our spending. So I kind of touched on lifestyle a little bit, on how people like to, spend their money, spend their time, and that kind of stuff. And majority of the time, you're going to be outside because of our great weather. The outside lifestyle is super big here, and you're really conveniently located in Albuquerque, being 20 minutes away from the mountains, about an hour away from really getting into the mountains with the stream. You can go fishing, kayaking. You can do that along the Rio Grande. There's all kinds of, there's a plethora of activities that you get to do outside, which really doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Yeah, maybe the gear and the equipment costs a whole lot of money, but you are spending that high dollar, so it lasts you a little bit longer. So when you are getting out there to do these activities, you're not going to be spending a whole lot of money. Maybe you can, spend that money in riding down the Bosque early in the morning, going down to one of the coffee shops and having a really nice breakfast with a couple of buddies, a couple of your friends. Whatever the case is, you're going to be able to save a ton of money here, especially if you adopt that outdoor lifestyle, because it doesn't require a whole lot of money to do so. And most of the time, people are always selling out their gear anyways to be able to upgrade. So you can get some pretty good stuff and some pretty good condition for a pretty good price on like Facebook Marketplace and all that jazz. The lifestyle here, because of our weather, again, our weather here allows you to, enjoy a nice brisk walk in the morning through the Bosque trails. On our house, we have a big trail on the backside of our neighborhood. So early in the morning, you can get out there and enjoy a nice walk, get outside to your patio, enjoy a nice cup of coffee. And then in the evenings, once the weather, or the temperature, not the weather, the temperature starts to drop, then you can go outside, enjoy a nice cold drink on your Costco furniture that you just purchased that rocks back and forth with a nice little tabletop fire. Just because we got to talk about it, right? Because it's what I do. The housing here is not going to be super old. I know Albuquerque is, I think, over 300 years old, but at the same time, most of the housing here is not going to be that old. And if it is, people have probably already revitalized it, added, put some money into it to make it up to par. But in most places that you go to, like Denver or some of these major cities like Los Angeles, some areas in Texas, the homes are super old that, sometimes you kind of wonder on the construction of it. And here, majority of the time, homes have already been updated. Yes, you are going to run into older homes. Not saying that they're not out here, but for a majority of the time, people have already kind of updated the code, made sure that it's livable, all that kind of stuff. New Mexico, for whatever reason, they also want to make sure that there is a lot more homeowners versus renters, because they understand that most homeowners take pride in what they work hard for. Coming from a blue-collar workers, that's kind of what our community is here. You're going to see a lot of people kind of really take pride in what they work for, because they work hard for that dollar, and they want to make sure that whatever they're spending it on means something. So on their house, if they are going to be spending the money that they worked so hard to get, they're going to be, making sure that, number one, it looks great. They're going to take care of the yards. They're going to take care of the streets. They're going to take care of their roofs, all kinds of different things that people are really taking pride in. So New Mexico really tries to incentivize people to go out there and buy homes with all the different programs that they have, like the first-time home buyers program. And then some local lenders have different things that they like to do to be able to get people into homes. So if that's a question that you have, again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. We can set up a quick call, and I can connect you with somebody that can explain all this into detail for you. So I guess it's not a lot of negative things. It's not the worst, but some of the things that I just touched on can be a bad thing for some people. Some people might look at the weather and say like, hey, it's too hot down there for me. I want to be colder. I don't know who would want to be colder. I mean, maybe Alaska's a good fit for you. But, that outdoor lifestyle and all that stuff is super eye-catching, because it doesn't take a whole lot of money to be able to enjoy these things. And then the housing here, it's just bar none probably some of the best in the country, because you aren't going to experience a lot of older homes, and you aren't going to pay crazy top dollars for some of the best areas here. Now, the prices may vary all depending on what side of town you want to live on. So again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And let's set up a Zoom call. Let's talk about what side of town you want to live on, and whether you want to move down here within the next 30 days, 60 days, or like, hey, I need to move there like yesterday. That's something we can talk about, make a plan around it, really get to know each other and discuss your wants and needs, all that stuff, right? So Again, this is Eli signing out for another video. I really appreciate you guys coming in and tuning in and hanging out with me. And I didn't catfish you guys, but I really did touch on some good points. But feel free to reach out. Until next time, peace.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray.